Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So here we are with the second topic of the series, or we can say the second video of computer networking, where we are going to see about the very important topic, that is topology. So it simply means that how the system or how the networks are connected to each other. Okay, like suppose let's just move to that slide. Okay, so here you can see it basically means the arrangement of elements of a communication network, or we can simply say that the geometrical representation of how the computers are connected to each other is known as topology. Like suppose we have system 1, system 2, system 3 and system 4. Now these systems are connected to each other like this. Okay, they are sharing the information, or they are passing the data in this way. Okay, now these specific representation, or we can say it can be arranged also like this: S1, then S1 is the main, S2, then S3, S4, S5. This is one way, this is other way. Like basically what I mean to say is that it is basically the geometric representation of how we are arranging the systems, or how the computer networks are arranged. Maybe that there may be like I have considered the case of systems, but there can be the networks also, the arrangement of networks also. We will see like what are they called, like what are those representations called. Okay, we are going to see about that. So types of topology. So basically there are 5 topologies, that are mesh topology, star, bus, ring and hybrid. So there are 5 topology. We are going to see about each and every topology in detail. We are going to see about their advantage, disadvantage, where we can use them, and not delaying much, we should proceed. Okay, so the first one is mesh topology. In this topology, as it already says, so it basically means that each and every system, or each and every networks, okay, each and every network is connected to each other. Okay, suppose this is system 1, this is system 2, this is system 3, this is system 4. Now system 1 is connected to system 4, system 3, system 2. System 4 is again connected to, now system 1 it is already connected, system 2, then system 3. Then system 3 is connected to system 2, system 1 and system 4. So you can see that all these systems are connected to each other. Like there is a path between each and every systems. I'm taking the case of system, you can consider it as a network also. So in a mesh topology, each device is connected to each other device on the network through a dedicated point-to-point link. This is very important. It is connected with a dedicated point-to-point link. When we say dedicated, it means that the link only carries data for the 2 connected devices only. Means that this path, or we can say this point-to-point link, is only carrying the data for these 2 devices, that is system 1 and system 4. Okay, it's not that it will carry the data for system 2 or it will carry the data for system 3. It is not like that. This specific path, this specific like point-to-point link will carry only the value, or only the data for these 2 systems. Okay, these 2 devices. Okay, suppose we have n devices in the network, then each device must be connected to n-1 devices of the network. Yes, we have seen that suppose we have 4 devices, so these must be all these all these devices must be connected to n-1, because you can see here this S1, total how many n are there, or how many devices are there? N equal to 4. We have 4 devices total. So each device will be connected to at least 3 devices. Why? Because we can see it is not connected to itself. It is actually passing the information to 3 more systems. So I hope this is clear to everyone. So that's all about mesh topology. Then last but not the least point, very important point, because sometimes in exams it is asked, like in like what are the number of links, what are the total number of paths that are there in a mesh topology of n devices. So there will be n into n minus 1 by 2 paths, or n into n minus 1 by 2 links will be there. Okay, so I hope this will be clear. You can just find it out, or you can just confirm it. Like just take the example of these two devices, these four devices, and then just check it out how many just comment it out your answers, how many total number of links will be there in a mesh topology. Suppose these are the 4 devices, how many total number of links will be there? Just comment your answer, and I hope everyone will be clear, because it's just a direct formula and you can just apply that formula and you will get the answer. Okay, now here I have this one diagram. You can just refer to this. Here you can see this is system 1, or you can see computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4. How many devices are there total? N equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 devices. Yes. And then how many each device will be connected to how many other devices? 5, because only 5 are left. Yes, that's, you can see how many paths are coming out from this specific. You can see that it is 5. Now just comment your answer, how many total number of paths or total number of links will be there. The formula is n into n minus 1 by 2. Okay, that's the simple formula for mesh topology. So I hope mesh topology is clear to each and every one of you. Okay. So now we are going to see the advantage and disadvantage of mesh topology. Okay. So basically the most important thing that is about mesh topology, or the advantage, is that it manages high amount of traffic, because multiple devices can transmit data simultaneously. Now here you can see that it is not that this device is only connected to this specific device. It's not like that. It is connected to 5 more devices. You can see, and we also have 5 paths that are connected to each other. So it can manage high amount of traffic. Like there will be no congestion here. So you can see that there are many paths and they can work simultaneously. It's not that one have to wait for other to execute and then only the other one will be executed. Okay, a failure of one device, suppose this device is not working. Okay, so it's not that this will also not work or this will also not. It's not like that, because all these other devices are independent of this. Although this path can get affected, this path can get affected, or this path can get affected, this path can get affected, this path can get affected. All the 5 paths that are coming out of this specific device will get affected, but not those devices like this computer 1 or computer 2. These devices are not getting affected by that specific defaulting device. Okay, so third point is adding additional device. Like suppose if I'm adding another computer, suppose C6. Okay, I'm adding another device, sorry, C7 suppose. So and what we need to do, we need to just link all these other devices with this specific computer or with this specific system. It will never cause the effect of these paths or the working that is already going on. It will not affect that. So that's the advantage, that adding additional device does not disrupt data transmission between other devices. Okay, it will not be there like if we are adding this computer 7, then we need to stop computer 1 or computer 2 from their working. They can continue their work, they can transmit data. Okay, next is disadvantage of mesh topology. So what are the disadvantages? So the most important thing, as you can see, that there are so many devices that are simultaneously working. They are having they can manage heavy traffic, no congestion will be there. So the important thing that is getting affected is cost. cost is higher than other network topology, making it less desirable option. This is very like important factor. Okay, then building and maintaining the topology is difficult and time consuming. As you can see that once it is getting connected, but suppose that if one of the computer device is getting some default, now we are not getting to, or we are never going to know it, because the data is I can say that other devices are already working. So it may cause a very it may cause a difficulty in finding where the default is. Okay, building and maintaining the topology is difficult, or you can simply mean that there are so many devices that it is difficult to maintain it. Then the chance of redundant connection is high, which adds to the high cost and potential for reduced efficiency. So that's all about advantage and disadvantage. I hope it is clear to each and every one of you. Next we are going to move to bus topology. So now we are going to start with bus topology. So as it is similar to, like, if you have seen a bus, or you must have seen a bus, it is similar to bus, like what we are having in a bus. Suppose we have a bus. Okay. So in bus, what we are having, there is a passage in between and the seats are there. Okay. So just like that, in bus topology, what we are having is that this is a basic passage you can consider. Then these are the systems. It's like this. These are the systems or networks that are connected, and this passage will be considered, just imagine it like a bus, and this will be this will allow us to transmit the data from one system or from one device to another device. So what are the things that are there in bus topology? There is a main cable. You will call this as a main cable. Yes, cable, and all the devices are connected to this main cable through drop lines. Now these lines you can see is known as drop lines. Okay, so there is a main cable and all these devices are connected to this main cable by a drop line. Okay, there is a device called tap that connect the drop line. There is a tap, you can just imagine like this. Yeah, there is a tap here which connects the main cable with the drop line, and the distance the main cable can have. Okay, so this is all about bus topology. I hope you are having the basic idea how it actually looks. Here you can see there is a diagram. This is more preferable. You can just consider this. Also, there is one more point. There is a terminal out here which stops the data to come out of this range, or basically it defines the range from where to where the data will flow, or from where to where it should be there, or it is defining the limit. Okay, so this is how the bus topology looks like. These are the systems or devices that are connected with main cable through what? Through drop lines, and these are the like you can see that these are the systems, and we are having one the main thing here, drop line, main cable, and a tap. Tap you can consider just like normal tap that we see in real life. The work is also same like that. There is a tap which is there, which stops or which filters that what data should come out or what should not be there, or it filters out. Like suppose this device wants to send data or wants to send something, some media to this device. Okay, device 2, suppose, wait a second, this device 1 wants to send to device 2. Now the data will travel all through this, but it may be possible, or it can be possible that it can go here in this device 3. But no, what will stop here is that this tap will stop it from going in this device. Okay, it will stop it there, and then this tap will be open. it will go to device 2. Okay, that's the simple way how you can just consider this bus topology to looks like. Okay, so this is bus topology. Next we are going to see about the advantage and disadvantage of bus topology. Okay, so now we are going to see about the advantage and disadvantage of bus topology. So the first point or the basic point that we can see from the bus topology and we can consider it as the advantage is that it is very simple. It is one of the most simplest form of the connection or the networking in network topology. It is the most simplest one. Easy to connect a computer or peripheral to a linear bus. It is very easy. Like you can see, only one main cable is there, drop line is there, and tap is there. Okay, then require less cable length than a star or any other mesh topology, or any, like you can see, we don't need any other cables, or you can see the arrangement is as simple as that. Only one cable is there and the drop lines are there. You can see how simple it is. The main advantage is its simplicity. Okay, the disadvantage, the way it looks, the simple it looks, the more disadvantage it has. The very important disadvantage that we can see here is that suppose that one network or one cable is having one default in in this position. Now you can see that how the data cannot transmit from any other device, or the transmission is just getting stopped. Why? Because the cable or the main cable is actually connected to this drop line also, and the flow will just stop here. You can see how much disadvantage or the fault part is that entire network shut down if there is a breakdown in the main cable. You can see that in the main cable, if anywhere there is a default, the entire connection or entire network shut down. Okay, so here you can see default in any other device can affect the other devices too. Okay, then terminators are required at both ends. So here you can see I have told you all that we need a terminator that will tell us the limit, that from where to where the data will flow. Okay, required at both ends of the backbone cable or the main cable. It is difficult to identify the problem if the entire network shut down. Now suppose that the entire network has shut down. Now how can we identify that which system is having the problem? Okay, then not meant to be used as a standalone solution. It cannot be meant to be used as a standalone solution. Okay, so it is difficult to manage bus topology. Okay, like in mesh topology we can identify that where the default is, because only that device was not working and remaining all other devices were working. So we can just simply send the data from that device and we can check out that yeah, it is not working because it is not going to that specific required device. So we can identify there. But here in bus topology there is a difficulty that if there is a default in any point in the bus in the main cable, then all the entire network shut down. Okay, so now we are going to see about star topology. So as in bus topology we have taken or we considered an example of bus, how it looks like. Just the same way star looks like something like this. Yeah, something like this. Just take the example of this. The way it is looking, just like that a star topology looks like. There is a central device or a hub is there. Okay, and it is working as the central, or it is managing each and every devices. Okay, so that's how a star topology looks like. Each device in the network is connected to a central device, and that device is also called as a hub. We are going to see about I have taken this name again in the last video, as it is a networking device. We are going to see about it in detail in our next video, or I will just explain it with star topology. Okay, unlike mesh topology, like in mesh topology what it was, like this device, or suppose every device is connected to each other. But in star topology, what is there? There is a mediator, or you can say that there is something in between that is that is managing each and every other device. Okay, so star topology doesn't allow direct communication between devices. It does not allow that. A device must have to communicate through a hub. Okay, it must go through a hub, and then wherever that data wants to go, it can go. If one device wants to send data to other device, it has to first send the data to hub, and then the hub transmits that data to designed or designated device. Okay, whatever the assigned device is there, it will go there. Okay, so that's all about star topology. I hope it is clear to you all. Not going much in detail, we will see it by a diagram. Okay, so here you can see how a hub looks like. Here in between we are having a hub. Suppose this device wants to send data to this. So first it will go through here. The hub will assign or will check where this specific computer 1 wants to send the data to. So yeah, there it is it checked and it found that it want to go to computer 4. Then it will assign it to here. There is no loss of, or there is no direct contact of computer 1 and computer 4. In mediator, what is there? In mediator we are having a hub. Okay, now I will just tell you what is a hub. I will just give you the brief idea, not going much in detail, because we are going to see about each and every network device in detail in our next video most probably. Okay, so I will just tell you the brief introduction of a hub. So from this example also you can consider what is the work of hub, what it is doing. The most important thing that a hub is doing is that it is connecting all these devices. It is connecting all these devices, and then what it is doing, it is working as the mediator, or you can say that it has many ports in it. Simply here you can see it has many ports that connects multiple devices. Okay, a computer which intends to be connected to the network is plugged into one of these ports. Okay, if it wants to get connected to any other device, then it first needs to get connected to a hub. Okay, so they are generally used to connect computers to a LAN. Okay, so that's the basic work of a hub. And I hope that you are clear with what is the purpose of hub here in star topology. Now, the most important thing that we need to see is that advantage and disadvantage of star topology. So till now what we have seen, that what is happening here. So okay, now the advantage of star topology is that it is easy to install and wire. Okay, it is easy to install because why? Because we are having a hub that is taking care of all those things that we need. We need not to connect this device from this device, not to connect this device to this device, or not. It's not like a mesh topology. It is very simple. We just need to connect all the devices to a hub and it is going to work with it. Okay, so it is easy to install. Second is no disruptions to the network when connecting or removing a device. Suppose that we need to remove this device. Suppose it is not working, we need to remove it. Then it is not going to affect this device or this device or this device because it is independent. The hub is just going to remove the port of that or detach that specific device, and it is going to work as it was working earlier. Okay, so that's the advantage. Disadvantage is that requires more cable length than a linear bus topology. Obviously in bus topology what we require is that main cable was there and a drop drain wall. Means a simple the most simplest one is bus topology, but if we compare it by that, then obviously there is a disadvantage that it requires more cable length. Then if the connecting network device fails, okay, if suppose the hub fails, then each and everything or every network will shut down because it is connected by this specific hub, and if it is not working, then it's of no use. The network topology fails. Okay, So I hope it is clear to each and every one of you. That is the advantage, or we can say, sorry, disadvantage, or we can also say that it is advantage, because we can simply like we can simply repair this and then we will get it. Okay, so I hope you are clear with star topology. Next we are going to see about ring topology. Okay, so as the name suggests, it is same like that, how a ring looks like. Okay, something like this. Yes, just like that, system 1 is connected to this, system 2 is connected to this, system 3 is connected, 4, 5, and as much as you want to attach. Okay, so in a ring topology, each device is connected with the two devices on either side of it. Like system 3 is connected to system 4 and system 2. And system 2 is connected to system 1 and system 3. So you can see how it is connected. There are two dedicated point-to-point links, just like a mesh topology. There each like each one was having a point-to-point link. Here only two dedicated point-to-point link is there with the device on the either side of it. This structure forms a ring. Thus, it is known as ring topology. If a device wants to send data to another device, then it sends the data in one direction. Okay, like suppose I want the S1 system 1 wants to send the data to system 4, then it can either send in this direction or in this direction. If the received data is intended for other device, like suppose it will first travel through system 5, then it will go to system 4. So as here it will first check that is it for system 5 or it is for other device. So yes, it is for other device. Then the repeater forwards this data until the intended device receives it. Okay, so there is a repeater. Now this is also a networking device. I know that it is a bit difficult to you all because I have not covered that topic, network device. So it's just like a hub, but a repeater, the work of repeater is that you can see here also it is telling that it checks whether the specific received data is for that system or not. If it is not for that system, then it will block that path, or it will not allow to go there. The data will not go in system 5. The privacy or security is maintained. It is not that system 1's data that wanted to go to system 4 is going to system 5 first. It is not like that. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. The most important thing that is to be considered is that there is a repeater. Okay, repeater is there. Okay, next is ring topology. Here you can see the example is there. Now we are going to see about the advantage and disadvantage. So by this diagram only I will conclude the advantage and disadvantage. So the most important advantage that we can see here is that all data flows in one direction, reducing the chance of packet collision. Like it's not like that the direction of this data is in this way and the direction of this data from this system is in this way. So it may be possible that there will be a congestion or the collision of packets of data. But what is happening in ring topology is that they are following one simple path. They all are moving in a single direction. Okay, they all are moving in a single direction. Okay, so next is there is no collision. Okay, fine. So all data flows in one direction, reducing the chance of packet collision. Okay, Then a network server is not needed to control network connectivity between each workstation. Data can transfer between workstation at high speed. Now here you can see that what is happening. Okay, so like basically there will be high speed, because you can see that it is following one direction, and these devices are connected to in two direction only. Okay, then we will move on to disadvantage, because we know the basic advantage. Now we will move on to disadvantage. Okay, so the entire network will be impacted if one workstation shuts down. Like suppose this specific computer is not working, the system is not working, then what will happen? This system, to move to the other system, it needs to first go here, and it is not working, so it can cause a damage. Okay, which can make it slower. Okay, it can cause damage. Okay, the entire network will be impacted if one workstation shuts down. Then the hardware needed to connect each workstation to the network is more expensive than Ethernet cards. Okay, now the like repeater, we need we need repeater at each point. Okay, so for that what we need is that hardware is very expensive than any other in any other devices or any other topology that we needed. So I hope ring topology is clear to you all. If you're having any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay, by this we come to the last topology, that is hybrid topology. Okay, so by the name only, just I hope that you must be getting the idea what is hybrid topology. It is the mixture of two or more topologies. Like suppose the mixture of mesh topology and star topology, the mixture of bus topology and ring topology. It's just like that. A combination of two or more topology is known as hybrid topology. For example, a combination of star and mesh topology is known as hybrid topology. So obviously we can have this kind of topology. It's simply called hybrid topology. Here you can see how it is connected. This is a star topology, you can see, and it is getting connected by a ring topology. Then like these are two different topology. You can see how they are connected. So by this we come to the end of these topologies, and I hope, because this is very important concept in any exam or in any like basic questions are asked from this topic, but if the concept is not clear, you can may face some problems. So I request you all to just, because I know that the video is too long, but like a bit long, but I hope the concept that I have tried to clear, I hope that is clear to you all. So by this we come to the end of video. So I hope you liked the video, and if you liked it, please do like and comment and give your reviews. Thank you.